Hmm. Where's my screen? There we go. All right. We are live. Been a while. Things have been going on that are regretfully not related to fun stuff, but everything seems to be going okay now. Let's see. So, one of the things that got an extra cord floating around here. Sorry about that. We wrote an article, or at least I did, a few days ago, published on our site. Talking about the state of the Dodgers. I've written this article 6 years in a row. I started in 2018 with Dodgers Nation, and then did the last two with Dodgers 21. Hey, Michael. So we know that it's been kind of a rough off season as we watch. Corey Seager helped win games for the Rangers in the World Series.
Emotional damage.
That's where it's at. We've seen that, and it's rough. And probably do another series thing on that. I know Doug McCain just put something out with Dodgers Nation. I got feelings about that. It's kind of mixed. Happy for him. Rooting for the Rangers. There's 5 Dodgers on that team. Seager, Heaney, Scherzer, Spores. Oh, dang it. I can't remember the other one. If anyone has that, put it in the chat, please. Probably another pitcher. Heaney, Spores, Scherzer, Seager, obviously. Oh, well. And then, of course, they're managed by the great Bruce Bochy. The guy makes a difference. People say what they want about the manager and all that. It's little this, little that. He brings something to the table. And, 3 world championships will do that. Well, let's get talking about this. Let's see, where is it? There we go. There's the button. All right. So I wrote this article published 3 days ago. Again, we've got, link back to... by the way, thank you everyone for all the love on this one here. The Dodgers embarrassed themselves again. Wish I didn't have to record that one. I'd rather be winning World Series. Celebrated 3-year anniversary yesterday. I do have my World Series hat on right now. Let's see if you can see it. The logo. Yeah. Seems like a long time ago, doesn't it? It does. But hey, we're fighting through Eovaldi. Eovaldi, that's right. That's the one. Yeah, he got traded him in 2021. That was in the Manny Ramirez trade. Or not Manny. Hanley. Both Manny and Hanley, when they came here, just did really, really well for a short time. But we already know that the state of this team is they seem to be leaderless in terms of needing someone to take charge of the team and be a spark plug when needed. I see that just talked about who they lost last year. I mean, this is like an all-star team, and it happened. It's probably going to happen again. Trey Turner, Cody Bellinger, Justin Turner, Tyler Anderson. By the way, all 4 of those previous All-Stars, and Chris Martin, Andrew Heaney, who's also in the World Series, replaced by some other good players: J.D. Martinez, David Peralta, Noah Syndergaard, Dodger career rest in peace, Jason Hayward, Miggy Rojas. We got the influx of youth with Outman turning well. Vargas, not so much. Still have hope. We'll talk about that. Mound, we had Bobby Miller, Ryan Papio, and Emma Sheehan with some Michael Grove sprinkled in and some Gavin Stone sprinkled in. So really, just if you look at the article from last year, let's see if I had that. I'm going to pop that up really quick because I think just some of the kind of the intro is similar. It goes, hey, from 2021 to 2022, they lost Seager and Kenley Jansen, 2 franchise icons, and they lost Scherzer and Pujols. Those were one was bigger than the other. They traded Pollock I was supposed to say something bad. Incoming, they got Freddie Freeman, Craig Kimbrell, Tyler Anderson, Andrew Heaney. And then just some of the questions we're looking at, the candidates, we know Walker Buehler was going down, relief pitching, about Kimbrell. Remember we had Kimbrell? So after 2022, there's so many questions. Julio was supposed to be our stud. We had, guys, we lost Tommy Kahnle also in free agency. I guess this was written before that. It was written before we lost him. And then, the huge playoff disappointment. Roberts is the manager. Buehler will be back in 2024. I did state that. And then we had Julio as the ace and has one more year until free agency. Well, good, get out of here. Kershaw is still excellent. That may not be true anymore. Team relies on too many injured players. That happened a lot in 2022. Time for some youth. And yes, it was a lot of time for youth, which is really cool. A lot of olds on the team. Batting order as holes. I think they actually had a better batting order until they showed up in the playoffs. Talked about their free agents. They lost Anderson, Gallo, not a loss. Heaney, Kahnle, Kirsch came back. Kimbrell gone, Martin gone, Pilar. Wait, did he? He was lost. David Price retired. Trey Turner never come back. Some options coming out of free agency. They signed none of these guys. Key club options. They did not keep Justin Turner, and they lost Cody Bellinger. Talking about the positions, all got crazy. There's big talk. They're gonna let Trey Turner walk, make a play for Arson Judge. Yeah, just all sorts of stuff. Hey, you're hearing echo? Oh shoot! Let me see if I can turn that down a little bit. How about now? Let me know. Thank you for that feedback. I appreciate it. Dang. I hate echo. I think it might be... Hold on. The emotional damage. Guys, can come back again.
Emotional damage!
I wonder if it's that. All right. Keep me posted on that. I don't hear it, so it's probably coming from the auxiliary. I'm gonna. Let's see. Can you guys still hear? No, I'm guessing not. All right, here we go. Oh, let's cute. Shoot. Let me try this. Test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3. Can you hear the echo? Can you hear the echo? Or can you hear me at all? All right, we'll keep that. Okay, we'll keep that. Cool. All right, thanks. Let's see. So I had, lineup possibilities. Oh, it's gone. All right, shoot. Okay, it's okay. So it was something I was messing around with. Okay, cool. Yeah, there are all sorts of these little things. I don't know. I was farting around with that, get that emotional damage guy in there. I love that guy. Stephen he cracks me up. Let's see. So I had a forecasted lineup with heavy rookies. And this was the only people that they had at the moment. So I had Lux at second, Amaya at short, Vargas in left, Bush at DH. And then they made some moves after that. They got Jason Hayward and things like that, Peralta, and other moves. Mookie Betts all of a sudden becoming a second baseman. Starting pitchers last year that I had is people that were actually on the roster. Relief pitchers, again, these were people on the roster. I didn't go into that detail this year. I just didn't. It wasn't worth it. Wrong button. Sorry, folks. Gosh darn it. Ugh. Massive fail. All right, so back to where we going through with the team. So 2023 truths. Julio's gone. Kersh might be done. Again, following up with Josh Thomas's tweet about Kershaw's stuff. It really derailed. I think he's really hurt. We'll find out. They're the Dodgers play coy with some of that stuff. It kind of drives me nuts. But let's see. Give me an update. Can you guys hear me? Just give me someone give me a 1 in the chat if they can hear me. So again, Kershaw tried to come back, but it was a disaster. Right now, there is no ace in the rotation. Wrote about that a bit. There's 2 candidates to be the ace. We got Walker, well 3. I got Walker Buehler if he comes back healthy. Okay, and then Bobby Miller and maybe Ryan Pepio. Thank you, everyone. So Buehler was our guy. That's the type of guy you need. You don't need, you need other guys to fill it, but you got to have that one guy that comes in and just is dominant and makes his starters huge. Organizational failure. That was we saw it. We've seen it 3 in the last 5 years. The last 2 years, it keeps getting worse. It's not getting any better. I don't know what they're going to do about that. Not much we can do about it either. That's right out of Friedman's mouth. Players failed. Management didn't do anything different. From their, like I said, the people like to talk about the early trips to Cancun. It was worse. Players weren't prepared. Many looked lost. I thought Doc looked really lost. Kershaw was impaling, and Doc had a look on his face like, man, we're done. And that was in the first inning. And I said last year, Dave Roberts is the manager. That's not changing. I don't know if that's ever changing for years. I'm giving him another 10. Gavin Lux will be back in 2024. So now we get to start talking about some good things, right? So Gavin Lux will be back. Hopefully is the starting shortstop. I don't think he's ever going to make us forget about Corey Seager, but he really has a lot of talent, and he was as highly rated as Corey Seager was. I think it's Roberts last year. Maybe. I don't know. That's just weird. I just think I don't know. I don't think so. I just think they're going to stick with him. I don't get it. I really don't understand it. Why they keep why they're not making changes again. They things fell apart, and they tweaked around. They put Guerin no longer as bench coach and Danny Lehman as bench coach. Guerin was still there the whole time. That didn't make any difference. That's a leadership issue. They got to fix that. Doc can fix it too, right? If the marriage ends, it will probably be Roberts. He chooses to walk away. Hey, there's for some people out there who don't like Roberts, I'm still on the fence, to be honest with you. Right now, it's still fresh. There's an opening down in San Diego. That's his home. Freeman's never leaving. There needs to be a little bit more churn. When they were losing people, and they had, Anthopoulos come in, so he came in, left, Farhan left. They got some, you bring in some new blood here and there. Thing is, I just don't want to lose anyone. I think they have a lot of good folks. We'll see. It's just really, man. All right, but we do have Gavin Lux coming back. I'm really happy about that. He's going to be a huge upgrade. I'm just going to call it. He's going to have a big year. And I just hope we can field the position. That's always been the concern of all of us. Let's see. Starting rotation should be better. These guys are a year older. So Miller will be there the full year, hopefully healthy. Pepio, Sheehan, and then you go Grove, Stone. These are all candidates for next year. Even though I think Grove might really turn into a reliever. I really do. They will be going after some starting pitching. We heard that. Then there's Kershaw and Walker Buehler. So one of the things is, I don't care how many people they have in their rotation. Go get more. Make people fight it out in spring training. And if it's, all these stud starters, these stud young guys fighting it out for one spot or two spots, fine. Put them in the bullpen. Pedro Martinez had a whole year in the bullpen in 1993 before he was traded for the great Delano DeShields. So we got Walker Buehler coming back for sure. I think Kershaw's 50-50. Gonsolin's out all of 2024. Decimay is going to be back. I don't see him. He should not be a starter. Those mechanics. He's going to break that tendon again. He has to fix that thing. The big one, Shohei Ohtani's a free agent, but he doesn't help the rotation. And I know that I have purposely, go back to the starters. I have purposely not watched anything about, any of the Dodgers Nation or any other content about starters because I'm letting it marinate myself. I don't want to get, influenced by them. I haven't talked to Doug about it or anyone like that. So start talking about it soon. We do have, the minors is just loaded with more right-handers. We got Nick Frasso, we got River Ryan, we got Landon Knack. I mean, jeez. Check out Landon Knack's Instagram. He's got a cool little Halloween costume. Do we think we need to start drafting a new drafting approach? I always want to pick up upside with known injuries instead of picking safer options. That's a good question, and I think though that it's just different because they're always drafting lower, and because they're going to have exceeded the salary cap or the luxury tax. It's still a salary cap. By exceeding the luxury tax, they're going to be drafting like 36th, 37th, something like that. So I think they have to go for that high upside approach. That's what they're trying to do. Sometimes it wins and sometimes it loses. They did that with Miller. They've done it with Bruns. We're still waiting for Maddox, but I think he's going to be a good one. Speaking of a lefty starter, I think that I'd like a lefty starter. I think you got to have that mix, at least one, and maybe it's Kershaw. But even if Kershaw comes back, it's 100 innings, right? We know this. And I think, this is where the trades have to happen. If there is a lefty starter out there. So, Michael, do you have anyone in your head that's out there that could be available as a lefty starter? Jordan Montgomery, of course, is my top candidate. He's going to get paid. And I think the Dodgers need to just pay some guys. If you pay 2 starting pitchers, big money in free agency, one's probably going to work out. Maybe we get lucky and get 2. You make some trades. Oh yeah, Detroit, right? Scooball. I wonder if the Tigers will be willing to deal him now, though. I mean, they're a rising team. We'll see. So Shohei is go back to this. Shohei Ohtani is a free agent, not as a pitcher in 2024. Throw everything at Detroit, and they should. It's one of those things where they could do that. They have a lot. They have too much. They have too many right-handed starters. Say, hey, here's 2, and a catcher. We got plenty. So Shohei maybe I saw something. It said that Shohei makes anywhere in extra revenue for the team $20 to $35 million per year. So could be, Detroit's bottom half in offense. Thing is, I'm not sure if we have someone to trade in offense that's at that point where it could help them and not hurt the Dodgers. That's what I'm concerned about. I mean, because I think if you trade like a Miggy Vargas, his value's lower. Maybe it's Michael Bush. Ugh. But it's probably Michael Bush. He has to either play me or trade me, and we'll talk about that. Put Max Muncy on the cover because Max is not going to be a free agent. They're going to keep that option, but we've talked about it all year on this channel and in this chat mostly. Muncy's defense pitiful, and I did see a headline of some stuff about Arenado. Why not? Why not? I don't think Arenado's value to the Cardinals is that high. I mean, in terms of they're not going to get a ton back. He's on the other side of 30. I'd like to see him. I don't know how well he's going to age. His defense did nick down, but still, it's still better than. I mean, fundamentally, right? Muncy is not a. He's not one of those guys you go, oh, look at those beautiful. Look how smooth he is and fundamental. No, he's that guy when you played street basketball and you got a bunch of guys out there just trying to play basketball on the court at the playground or whatever, and then this big dope guy comes along. He's a big guy, and he gets out there and just starts. Really doesn't have the talent, but he's kind of athletic in a way, and you can't see it. But then he just starts fouling everybody. That's kind of how I see Muncy on defense. Offense, different story, man. Guys still got a lot of value on offense. Yeah, they. So Michael, and we did talk about the third baseman a little bit. We have, I think we have a couple candidates. Of course, we have Michael Busch, if they're going to do that. I wish they would. And then we got Jake Geloff coming. Yeah, their defense is. Yeah, I hate having to acquire it. They had to go get Rojas to become a good defensive team at shortstop. I mean, Seager was never a stud out there on defense. He plays fundamental baseball, but he's not his range. He was relying on a lot of the metrics. So he's a nice average shortstop, but he hits the crap out of the ball. And then Trey Turner was a huge disappointment for me. Other team options: Lance Lynn, $18 million. I hope not. Someone leaked out that maybe they would do that. I just don't do that. We do need a caretaker third base for now. Is it Arenado? I don't know. Or do they just give Busch a shot? I don't know. I think if they could trade for Arenado, I mean, then Busch is clearly gone. And they still haven't heard anything about Busch playing left field. Then again, they're not going to tell me. They'll tell any of us, but I definitely don't have a hotline to Andrew Friedman. Let's see. So Lance Lynn, hopefully no. Joe Kelly, that's too high in my opinion, but I'd like him back. Blake Trinan, rest in peace to that shoulder. Never know. I don't think that you just can't commit that. Hudson, no. Reyes, I would do it. Why not? There's a lot of upside there. Here's our free agents again. Kershaw, JD Martinez. I don't think JD's coming back. Kike Hernandez. He was on the foul territory, and he's open to coming back. He's open to not being a starter now. He realizes that where he's at. He just wants to get paid. So someone pay Kike Hernandez, and I'd like him back on the Dodgers. I think he should have played in the playoffs. It's obvious now what we saw about Peralta being hurt. That's insane. His second half was not very good, and they didn't go with Kike, and they should have. Kike and Chris Taylor should have played more in the playoffs. Wouldn't have made a difference, but Peralta had no power. He wasn't a threat. He was, Ahmed Rosario will be gone. Shelby Miller, I'd like to see him back. He's earned some money. We should, Keeks, I think. Shelby Miller, Jason Hayward. I don't want him clogging up playing time. I think the Dodgers took an approach this year of going, let's sign some guys, some Peraltas, some JD Martinez's, some Peraltas and guys like that, right? But it didn't work because they still failed the playoffs. Oh. I'm going to get this call in a minute. Not right now. Let's see. Trade for Tyler O'Neill. Yeah! Trade for Tyler O'Neill. So put him in the Arenado trade if we're going to do that. Let's see. Ryan Brazier. Yeah, that guy earned a paycheck. And Colton Wong. But, the thing is the Dodgers don't pay relievers. So they're not going to go overboard on a reliever. They'll if they can find a nice little contract, they'll do it. Michael Busch. Play him or trade him. Heck yeah. Please. But I really like the Tyler O'Neill thing. He really fell out of favor there in St. Louis, but dang. Yeah, bring him. Yeah, he would be. He's a good outfielder. His dad's one of those guys that's super ripped. He's ripped too. Youth will continue to be served. Yes, they will. The thing is, there's not a lot on the 40 man right now. There will be a few more, but Yorbit, Vivas, and Diego Cartaya need are two of them that have not played yet in the major leagues. But we will have Outman going as a starting center fielder. I think Vargas does get another shot. And then Lux. So all of a sudden we got Outman, Vargas, and Lux. It's a good start. And then we still have Will Smith. I didn't really touch that. I should have. Starting pitchers, there's a lot. There's a lot. Ryan Yarbrough. I think they'll offer him a contract. Kyle Hurt. Gosh darn it, man. This is great. But let's see. Two lefties, right? That's it. Two lefties. Kershaw and Yarbrough. Amazing. Yeah, and I mentioned that. They're just, they got to make some moves there. And they could. They will. I really think they will. The bullpen's interesting. So Evan Phillips obviously has become such a really good pitcher. And Brewstar was so good last 2.5, 3 months of the season. Sort of trade for a leader. Yeah, we need better left. Oh, gosh. And I actually think I talk about that in here for sure because about the lefties. I think you're right. We can't have. I don't mind one of Vesia Ferguson. Can't have two. They're just, and you can't have them as they should be more of a fifth or sixth inning guy, and that's what I would be doing. I don't trust either of them in closer situation, nor Victor, or in a tight situation. Just to have him maybe get a hey, starters aren't doing well, and there's a couple lefties coming up, so let's bring in Vesia or Caleb. But yeah, a lot of guys. Yancy Almani, we'll see about him. Brian Hudson's a lefty. Just for him, it's getting the ball over the plate consistently with his command. We got Gus Varland, Tyler Sir. He was on this 60-day. JP Fireeisen, I think they have him another year. Yeah, Vessi is. It's interesting. That is interesting. It's being that high. I don't value him that much. But he's got interesting stuff. But I think it's one of those things where he really does need to develop. No habla inglés. He needs to develop another pitch. Get a good changeup or something like that because it's consistent, that high fastball. Get the two seam going, something like that. Get a sinker. That's what I think he needs. He definitely needs another pitch. Every year they move on. Half the bullpen's gone. More guys come in. It works. It's I think the bullpen last year, by the end of the year was pretty darn good. It was pretty darn good. Catcher, I did mention Hunter Fiducia. They get rid. Put him on the roster or trade him. Well, he's going to get Rule 5. If a team doesn't pick him up, they are insane. Someone should pick him up, and he's not going to haunt the Dodgers like Corey Seager, but it's going to turn out they got nothing for a legitimate major league catcher. I do expect Barnes back, especially if Kershaw's back. Dalton Rushing, I include him on here even though he's on the 40-man, just because. And then Diego Cartaya. We need Diego. Get that going because right now his values went down the toilet. Infielders. So we got Freddie. We got Max Muncy. Gavin Lux. Or Chris Taylor, Gavin Lux, Miggy Rojas. Kike, who's a free agent. Ahmed Rosario. Michael Bush. Miguel Vargas. Yorbit Vivas. Colton Wong, also a free agent. I don't see Colton coming back, but you never know. Every other position is questionable. I mean, if you look at second base, is it Mookie? And I talk about that a little bit. What about third with the defense there? Is Lux able to play defensively at shortstop? I think he is, but I'm still scared. I'm just saying. Sorry, Gavin. I just want to see it. I just want to see it on a consistent basis. He was making really good progress. My current untouchables in the farm system. None. Even though I think the three highest, because I want to get better. I want to win a World Series. Um, but top three, it's Josue De Paula, Yoandres Vargas, and Maddox Bruns. That's what I think. Those are their untouchables. It would take a miracle to trade those guys, but I wouldn't trade any of those guys like in an Arenado trade or anything like that. But you know, just so you know, if you guys haven't heard, Josue De Paula is now with Scott Boras. So is Ryan Pepio, and I think there's another one too. So you know how that goes. Cody Cody Bellinger and Corey Seager are Boris guys, and Julio was too. Those, we know about that. I'm not. Yeah, I'm. Yeah, yeah. The Lux. It's a question. Yeah, it was really nice having Rojas out there, man. That guy could play. DePaula rushing. Oh, Jong. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I don't think they sign him to just trade him off. But you never know. I mean, I just want to win again. I want the World Series back. It's been 3 years in one day. Time to do that. Outfielders, Betts, Outman, and then DeLuca. I forgot to put Peralta as a free agent. JD, I just put as DH. Hayward and Marisnik, yeah, right. And Paez. Paez was he was injured missed a lot of the year. Got promoted to AAA and was out within a week with a shoulder issue. So yeah. And then just final thoughts. I mean, big trades. Is it Corbin Burns, Dylan Cease, Aaron Nola, Shohei Ohtani? Those are kind of the big guys out there. Anyone else have untouchable prospects that they have right now? I mean, there's definitely levels, and I think the three that Michael put, the three that I put, are all on that level. They're the boy. It's going to take a lot to get you. I think that they if you remember, they traded Nick Nastrini out in the Lance Lynn Joe Kelly trade, and it was just one of those things they had to make a choice because they're coming from riches with the righties, and there's more. There's just more. It's insane. So I think that as we see that come about with this offseason, you're going to see, I'm going to say 2 to 3 of those right-handers are going to be traded. I think Miller's untouchable. I think Pepio showed that there's a lot there, so I would, Vargas and Bruns, yeah. Yeah, Bruns there's something special there. It's just getting the command. Yeah, and Estrini, man, I mean, the guy's really got his command down. Coming out of UCLA, he was walking an inning, a guy per inning. And he's done really well. And so I'm rooting for him. He's definitely he's basically a neighbor. I didn't know he was a neighbor at the time, but we lived pretty close to him back, a couple of years ago. So, I think Nastrini is interesting, and I think the Dodgers had to make a choice. Which one do we think is going to be? They have a ranking, and then White Sox come and say, well, we'd like some guy, and they go, well, is it acceptable on our list? And they let him go. And it also good for Nick because it frees him up. And they do need to do that with some more guys. He left-handed pitching, so probably wouldn't trade from it unless we get it back. Yeah, we definitely need lefty pitching, starting and relieving. Whether Kershaw comes back or not, again, 100 innings is all we're getting from him if he comes back. I wonder if he's really kicking himself for not going to the Rangers. Just saying. So let's, 2 miserable failures. Organizational failure. Embarrassing. I mean, come on. They should all be embarrassed. They have to wipe it off. So I know Mookie's going to get his crap for bowling. Bowling ain't the issue. That's not it. That's Mookie does what he does. Those he's not distracted. The guy works hard, and so everyone needs to relax and all. Everyone's got to. They're trying to forget that stuff themselves. I'm sure that probably moments at night where Freddie or Mookie wake up and you're just so bummed, just so ashamed of their performance. And I just look at it this way: it's not for lack of effort, but the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and hoping for a different outcome. And the Dodgers have gotten different outcomes. Between 2019, 2022, and 2023, they have failed miserably in each of those playoff series, in the opening playoff series with wild cards. And in 2019, they won 2 games. 2022, they won 1 game. 2023, they won 0 games and got swept by an 84-win team. I don't care that they're in the World Series. That should not have happened. Yes, they're a good team, and any team's a threat, and I get it. But they had no chance. They were done. They were done in the first inning of the first game, and the manager was in shock. Team was in shock, and they never recovered. Who would I think ascends through the system this year? It could be Bruns. I don't think he's gonna touch the majors this year, but the only thing that worries me is if he's from high school. DePaula, let's throw it out there. DePaula. Let's say it, he's going to touch triple. He's going to touch double A by the end of the year, and he's going to also start hitting for power. We'll see that. Never had a lead. Yeah, and never had a lead. Just the organizational failure is the right term. What are they going to do about it? You can't have this thing of going, well, and Doc did it again. He did it again. Last year, he did it with an injured Justin Turner and an injured Chris Taylor. Played him despite the fact they had no business being in the lineup. Let's go with our guy. Let's go with Kershaw. And then we got Peralta. He's a vet. I mean, the thing is, Peralta actually had a double. But in general, it should have been Kike out there or Taylor. Those are your guys. And both of those guys were healthy and ready to play ball. And they did well when they were in there. Maybe don't win the division. Yeah, I don't know, man. It sure seems like it. But this team is just a weird team. They are so talented. The development is off the charts. They make good with in terms of developing players with good process and money. Every wild card seems to make the World Series now. It sure seems like it. Soto's 19 when he first came up. Yep. The game superstars don't linger longer in the minors. Yeah, except they do with the Dodgers, man. They just don't. Last time they pushed someone through, it seemed like, I might be wrong, from a position player was Seager. They let Bellinger it was injuries that got him through. Buehler, they got up quick. Tolles did too. God, not rest in peace, but man, I just think about that guy a lot for some reason. I got a Tolles jersey, man. I bought it it's his 2016 playoff jersey. But it just seems they let them marinate for almost too long. And I guess sometimes you can marinate too long. And that's what I think they're doing. But Soto is you're right. Soto is 19. DePaula is 18. There's some similarity. Tolles did hit the ball hard. Missed that guy. That guy was just, man, wish I was covering getting a press pass when he was there. He just seemed like a good dude. And he is, he's just going through it hard. He's going through it hard too. Any more thoughts on what to look for? What are your thoughts about going into 2024? What are your disappointments? I'm going to just hang out for a couple more minutes. I need to shave. Yeah, just it's almost a week old. Go out with my wife. She just got home. Yeah, I as always, I appreciate you guys that are coming out here and getting in the chat. Let's I was gonna do one last night about the 2020 World Series, but just kind of ran out of time. And just some of the things I still might do it in another day or two. When you have a different approach to play when the pitching is elite, yeah. They act like it's the regular season where it's it's the Rockies rotation, it's the injured Padre rotation, or whatever. They just it's not that. It's teams that made the playoffs because they have good rotations. Usually, Dodgers kind of accept it, but hey, some of those guys really came through. That's pitching's it's the next level, and they have to be ready for that. And the pitchers need to pitch like that. They need to have next level pitching. That's where Buehler comes in. That's where Bobby Miller's going to come in. Hopefully Pepio. Hopefully Corbin Burns or Dylan Cease. Cease had a terrible year. Team needs to make multiple trades and back up the truck for Nola or Yamamoto. Yeah. One of the things that was mentioned about Nola, he plays on a team that plays in a very hitter-friendly ballpark, and it doesn't impact him. Even with maybe some of his stuff isn't quite what it used to be. It's something you got to consider. Guy knows how to get things out. And it also, gosh, some of these misses, they just never went after. And these, Zach Wheeler contract, that's a darn good contract. You need to look at some of those and find guys that, and he's, Zach's probably due for Tommy John another year or two, but I think that's his fourth year. That was a good contract. Getting guys like that really matters. I'm still do the dumpster diving. But you can't count on any of them making it. If any of them make it, it's a bonus. Get a Yamamoto. Get a Burns. Make the trades. Make some moves. Make a rotation that's a mix that's top, hopefully by Buehler, Bobby Miller, Pepio, and two studs from outside the organization. And if there's and let a Sheehan battle. Let him battle for his spot. Let Pepio battle for his spot. Let these guys battle. I mean, just do it. Things need to be shook and shaken up a little bit. Look at again, maybe the Padres go after Doc. That'd be interesting. I guess he's paid $6.5 million a year, and he was ranked. I saw something. He was ranked as the second best manager in baseball. But I think there's just something missing there, and where's the Chase Utley? Where's somebody that has that extra? I think catchers are such better managers. I would have loved it. I got to be honest. I would have loved to have Bob Melvin. Friedman said in the past you have to take a risk to win a World Series. Yes, he hasn't taken many risks lately, other than leaving us a little thin. Get outside the comfort zone this year. They have to. And the real question. Here's my question. This is a team that makes money every year. How bad does the total ownership group want to win? Or do they just want to keep earning money? And it doesn't have to be both. But if you, and we keep coming, there's 40 to 50,000 every night at Dodger Stadium. They don't need to take a risk because we just go. Just the density of the population within 50 miles of Los Angeles of Dodger Stadium means that people are going to go to the ballpark. They'd have to really suck for people to not go. Because we know how like a quarter of the people go there. They're just there just to be there. And then there's people that they're going to go. They could be on a 100-game losing streak and they're going to still show up. Probably this group. And then there's going to be just people are going to go, hey, I it's my one chance a year. I mean, I want to see Clayton Kershaw. I want to see someone coming in. They want to see a future Hall of Famer like a Verlander, Scherzer pitch on another team, things like that. But they take us for granted. I do know that they take the fans for granted because they can. They just can. They're going to keep making that money. They have a great TV deal. They have fans that are dedicated. Fans are buying stuff left and right. So it's like, if I were up in Los Angeles, I don't know, would I go as much? I don't know. I didn't go as much this year. I only paid for one game. I think that was it. That was it. Yeah, one game. I only paid for one game. The rest was media, which is only 2 others. I only went to the Dodger Stadium 3 times this year. No, and to be honest, it's got to be worth my effort because when you go up there, it's good to be there in the moment. But if you're going up there going, well, what are they going to do in the postseason? Do we get to be a part of something? Yeah, attendance revenue is a priority. World Series ring, cherry on top. It appears, but not really priority one. It's definitely a concern. Yep, I agree. You have $20 bills and people willing to pay for it. That is so right, Frankie. Welcome aboard. Exactly. I mean, I don't drink beer, but I pay like $9 for a Diet Coke. How stupid am I? Oh, man. Bring your own water bottles in, folks. Fill it up. Bring it in empty or full and sealed. Or just bring your portable thing, bring it empty, and fill it up. But we don't make them pay. That's the thing. We don't make. There's not much we can do. They've got us. They've got a great money making scheme. The only time that they even lost money was because of the pandemic. And they recovered. I'm not worried about any of them. It just becomes, is there a fire like Seidler with the Padres? That dude wants to win so bad, that he's willing to do stupid things. No, we don't want that. We don't want to be wasting money on a Xander Bogaerts, who probably is going to be playing first base this year, maybe second, but probably first this coming year. They got us. And it's really a question of how bad and it's like you got freaking Magic Johnson and Billie Jean King. 2 of the greatest at what they ever did. Why don't they want to be the greatest owners? Why don't they want to have the team that is world champions consistently? Can't do, it's hard to do. But go, what? We should be in the I can't stand them, but the Astros run the LCS 7 years in a row. Whether they cheated or not, they got there. And the Dodgers, they were in the World Series 3 out of 4 years. And what happened now? I don't 2021 just injuries galore. No chance. No chance. Even though that was a team that could win. That was a team that could win. But Buehler was compromised. Scherzer was compromised. Part of it was just the way they managed those guys. And Muncy going out, Kershaw going out, they were toast. They were going into the playoffs in 2021, before the last weekend series. They were ready to go. They were going to repeat, in my opinion, even with a bench that wasn't so good. They had a real shot, but fell apart. Excuse me. But then 2022 and 2023, absolute disasters. No excuse. Yep, that's what I can't reconcile either. Yep, Magic is super competitive. Why put money first? Must not have had that louder voice in the room. I don't think he cares anymore. I think Magic cares about his little clout of saying, my good friend, blah, 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 we did this, we did that. And then he becomes Captain Obvious. That Lakers need to score more points than the Celtics. That Dodgers need to score more runs than the Reds. I mean, it's silly tweets. He's not a serious person with that stuff. He's serious about money is what he is, and he's good at it. Props to Magic for what he's done to make himself a gazillionaire. But dang, dude. I think people lose the fire. It's kind of like, look at it this way. I go see a lot of bands that are old because they used to be good, and they can still put on a good show. But when they want to play new stuff, I don't want to hear any new albums because they've lost the edge. They've lost the edge. And so when I got a band I like to go see is Depeche Mode, right? They always are putting out new albums. They're always touring with it. I don't want to hear any of it. I don't even care if it's good. It's not registering with me. People don't care that much. They want to hear the good stuff. And it's because they've lost the edge. They're not going to, you can't, there's only one Van Halen 1, right? There's only first one debut Cars album. Everything's downhill from there. Well, I don't even know. I actually like the first 4 Van Halen. 1, 3, and 4 the best. 6 is darn good too. Magic's challenge built big an empire. Yeah, he's building an empire. Whatever, right? I hope, and I'd like to have the opportunity to do what he's doing, but I don't have that in me. I don't have the resources. I didn't have the basketball skills. But it's like, where's that competitiveness? I mean, that's maybe a lot of us, I'm older than probably all of you. But I still, that competitiveness, even when I coached, I had to put my competitiveness down. I'm coaching kids. But it would come out, sometimes, or just deep inside me of going, let's win some games. Let's do this. Let's do that. I don't know. They've lost it. Money's great, but man, you're in your Billie Jean's in her 70s and Magic's in his 60s. Gosh, legacy, man. Become a Hall of Fame owner. That'd be great. And again, with Friedman, Caston, Dave Roberts, they're all a World Series title short of a Hall of Fame, I believe. Even though Caston, he had one with Atlanta. One. Caston's legacy is he builds really good organizations that win once every 10 years. That's what it is. And all those times he's got one every 15. Let's just do it like that because he won one with the Braves and he was there quite a long time. He was with the Nationals, didn't win any. And then he's won one with the Dodgers. That's it. I don't, where's that fire to be better? Or maybe they're just held. If you're held back by management, you're held back by management, by people above you. I don't know what any of this is, but they're all so close. So many ways, Friedman's the best GM in baseball, or close to it. In so many ways, Dave Roberts is a really good manager. In so many ways, Stan Kasten's an amazing executive. But, Lon Rosen, right? He's over there. I think he used to be Magic's agent a long time ago. And, I think some of it is they care more about the way things look. I think, Mark Walter, just look them up. There's reasons why a lot of people just decide to go, oh, I need to talk more about this and that. Let's have another night for a group of people, and it's like, how many nights do we have for all that stuff? It's cool to honor people, but I don't really care about that stuff. I really don't. They're just finding ways to make more money, and they're taking advantage of us. So they're gonna have a night every night, probably of 81 games of a group of people to honor, so they can have us go buy that jersey for our special thing, and pay extra money, have a little ceremony on the field. I don't care about that stuff. I'm tired of bobbleheads. I don't care. I got enough bobbleheads. I've actually stopped. I'll get one. You give me another Joe Kelly, I'll do that. But I want something with character. Yeah, you wonder about the competitiveness there. All right, I think I'm done. I'm gonna go to Shake Shack with my wife after cleanup. Gotta clean myself up a bit. Hope you all have a great rest of the Saturday. World Series on 5 o'clock again. It's Jordan Montgomery versus Merrill Kelly. That'll be a good matchup. So got to be scouting Jordan Montgomery, possibly a candidate. Really wish the Dodgers would have traded for him. He's a good one, and he's a guy that just really blossomed the last couple of years. So there's always hope. There's our lefty, right, folks? All right. Thanks, everybody. I will be talking with you, not at you. That's terrible. You guys are so good on the chat, and I appreciate it so much. So thanks, everyone. I will talk to y'all later. God bless. Go Dodgers.